wonderful Wednesday. I know usually it's a wacky Wednesday, and my wackiness is still creeping through because it doesn't want to hide, but it's okay. Today is a wonderful, wonderful day. It is International Youth Day, and it is also World Elephant Day. But I'll explain that a little bit earlier on. So, we are going to continue with our UN75 conversation today, and that lovely lady I was telling you guys about, she's here. Hello, pretty lady. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm great. Please just introduce yourself and tell us what your name is.
They finally got to hear my deep voice. Okay, my name is UN75. I'm a disability activist and a social entrepreneur. I'm also a member of the UN Youth Advisory Panel.
Okay, so you two are both, similar roles. So, combination. Okay, I see you. Okay, so first, can you please quickly answer that question that I asked earlier on? What are the prizes for the essay competition?
Okay, there are some prizes to be won. But I think the most important prize is that you get your voice heard. So everyone who enters the competition is a winner. But there are three prizes. Mm-hmm. You get the top three essays get to be published via European Union and United Nations websites. Okay. And the other top 10 people, they get to have a dinner with the UN resident coordinator and the ambassador.
I want that one. I heard food and I was like,
what? One gets to win a laptop.
Well, okay,
so
no,
those
can I
are
have
the prizes.
Can I win all of them? Like, I can write a really good essay right now.
Get your pad and write.
I should get my... Okay, I will start writing. Right now. I'm on it. Okay, so my next question is related more, still kind of on technologies, but kind of a trend that we've seen going on. I think it was is it Rwanda? Yeah, Rwanda and a couple other African countries. They are having quite an issue with privacy, right, when it comes to the internet. So data privacy and information privacy and all of that, especially now that a lot of people are kind of at home. And I think maybe people have too much time on their hands. So they're doing some things that shouldn't be done. But essentially the question from our user here is, we can't talk about the internet or technology without acknowledging that corruption has long plagued those who are put in power to help the people. This has obviously put a strain on our trust and factored in very heavily with the general use and general acceptance of new technologies now in the future. Basic example is here in our country, people have a serious problem using mobile money, even though they've been advised to stay away from handling hard cash because they don't trust the technology. Because maybe, I don't know, maybe we're too old, but yeah. So the person says, I feel like the issue of corruption, and dare I say the eventual, or rather the subsequent potential of people's privacy being exploited with nefarious intent by those entrusted to safeguard it, will be a hurdle we'll need nothing short of an act of God to ultimately say, we've put this behind us. So I guess the gist of the question is corruption, data privacy, and us trying to communicate more, because now that we are trying to migrate to everybody being online, we're having our meetings online, we're storing our business files on, everything is online at this point. So how are we balancing this? How are we, as being United Nations, if people in another country are targeting us down here and stealing our information instead of using it for good? Is there anything that we can do to counter this, or you guys can do to kind of try to help this, or is it more just kind of trying to inform people and teach them about how to better use technology, or is it over for us?
That's a very big question because it has several angles. So, but let me give a preamble like this. Technology. We are actually starting only to learn the implications of widespread technology and very advanced technology. And some of those implications include, for example, issues around data privacy and privacy. And in some countries that I know in Europe, government have voted laws on information and privacy, access to information and privacy. And this is an attempt to legislate, to put some sort of order into the use of technology and very advanced technology to protect the privacy of people and to also protect people from being abused, because unfortunately the more technology advances, the more there are also temptations for some people to utilize technology for the wrong things. And so that is one thing. But as you can see in the world today, with coronavirus, very many countries are suggesting that we should use mobile money. We should make electronic payments instead of manipulating bills and coins and banknotes. And so you mentioned something about people not trusting the technology.
Yeah.
I believe that one can be relatively easy to solve because it is a matter of education, because people need to understand that there is safety and security behind their data. If you're sending 500 maloti to your friend or your mom, you want to make sure that this will indeed get to the rightful recipient. And so, but that experience has shown that it works. You're sending money abroad. That has also shown, experience has shown that it works. So sometimes that trust, that level of trust comes with the usage and with the utilization of when you see results for yourself, then you start to believe. However, there are other elements of the question, and talking about people's information and data not being safe. That is unfortunately something that needs to be looked into, and it has to have some sort of solutions that are technology based most of the time themselves. But these are what I can call frontier issues, because they are at the far end, at the far front of technology. And so that is something that needs to be looked at. While we look at reducing the divide, while we look at making sure that more and more people have access to internet, but we want to make sure that they have access to safe and secure internet for themselves, for their children, for their families. Maybe my young people, my colleagues here, know better than I do, because I'm a BBC, so I'm born before computer, but they were born after, so they have certainly challenges and experiences that they can share with your listeners, because I know that your audience is also mostly young.
Yes, but when we move to you, I have a more specified question, and it's related more to social media, right? Social media is tricky. It's very tricky, because the idea is it's my space. I get to kind of, let the people know whatever I choose, right? But there is a problem when people become self-proclaimed experts and they start disseminating information that is not only false, that they made up, or is essentially, as many people would call, a conspiracy. So what would you say, you as a young person, think needs to happen at this point? Because there are too many people for us to kind of, nitpick every single one. There are other nations that are essentially arresting people if they feel that they are spreading false information, or they're posting things that are derogatory or offensive to anyone. But I don't see every single person getting arrested and it solving anything. So what do you think needs to happen at this point for us young people to take better caution in how we use our social media, given, this big issue of COVID-19 going on, and obviously all the other things in the world? Because if I hear news about violence in another country and I put a spin on it, I'm essentially giving false news, right? It's going to become a game of broken telephone. By the time it reaches somebody else, maybe somebody who's an official, it's become this big issue that doesn't even make sense, and then they act negatively because they think this is the truth when it's not. So what do you guys think needs to happen at this point?
I think for most developing countries, the biggest challenge is lack of digital literacy skills for the young people. Because when you are aware of the digital skills that are needed, you are very cautious when you log into social media platform. The kind of the content that you want to absorb. You question almost everything when you see the kind of information, you want to dig deep in where the source is, who the source is, and make your own conclusions afterwards. Even before trying to share the information, you make your own analysis and try to think more of it. You talked about the issue of COVID-19. There have been a lot of stories, a lot of people shared stories, and and unfortunately for people who don't have full access to this kind of information, I'll speak more of people with disabilities because most of them don't have equal access to the kind of necessary information. So they take whatever that is available at the time. So you find out that there is a lot of rumors going around COVID-19, the spread, the source and whatnot. So they are most vulnerable because they don't have equal access to the kind of information that is being shared on social media platforms.